Hi, everyone. Welcome to Storytel's podcast, Dear People. Storytel is a leading audiobook and ebook streaming service and offers unlimited listening and reading of close to 1 lakh titles in India. You can download Storytel and enjoy unlimited stories on the go anytime and anywhere. And welcome to the show. I'm your host, Rukin. Today we have Dipti on the show. Hi, Dipti.
Hi.
To tell you a little bit about Dipti, Dipti is an editor, and she's also a writer who's currently working on a literary fiction title of hers. Mm-hmm. So naturally, we have the show dedicated to her writing, which is on literary fiction, and she's going to tell us all about what that means. But before we get started on that, she let us know a little tidbit about her, that this is not the first time she's recording a podcast. In fact, she's been recording it since decades ago.
This is true. Kind of unfortunately. My sister and I, we used to record talk shows on cassettes when we were a lot younger. But most of the time, she was the one who was interviewing me, as that's how it goes with older sisters.
With mics and everything.
Mm-hmm, with mics and an amplifier. And yeah, and then I think at some point, did we burn those tapes? Because I can't find them.
So what essentially we're getting at is that this podcast is going to be a breeze for Dipti.
Here's hoping.
So tell us about what it means to be a literary fiction reader. I'll tell you why I asked this, because when I was reading litfic, and I think that I was largely a reader of litfic post 19 onwards, that's when I decided I'm going to read your Salingers and Jhumpas and George Orwell. And I didn't realize that I was reading a particular segment only until, let's say, about 6-7 years ago, when I started working in publishing, and I realized that there was a separate department which was publishing, for lack of a better word, highbrow literature. And I was not someone who was consuming commercial fiction, romance titles. And I think that there was the sense of elitism that I attach to literary fiction. Why do you think that is the case? Or what do you think it is about litfic that very little or few people read it?
I think one of the biggest things to keep in mind is that classifications work both ways. Sometimes they're really helpful, like you're saying, that even coming to understand that your reading interest fell within a certain segment as opposed to another one is very helpful to a reader who's trying to build themselves up. But another camp of people might argue and say that classifications are unnecessary because they're entirely arbitrary. And how do you, especially in the time that we're reading and writing in, there's so much genre blending that's happening. It's very difficult to kind of classify it one way or the other. It's usually a very business.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?